What is up, hotties? Welcome back to another episode of Stay Hot. I'm Blaiden Kirk, joined as always by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, Matthew Spawnhour and Theo Ash. And today we are here to talk about the upcoming NFL season, going over our predictions for NFL awards: Coach of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, the whole shebang. But before we get into that, Matt, Theo, how are you guys doing on this beautiful, 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 beautiful Wednesday afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's almost my birthday. By the time this episode comes out, my birthday will be tomorrow. It's Friday, August 22nd.
Which reminds me, happy birthday, LaMelo Ball, because his birthday is one day before yours.
Yep. Happy birthday, LaMelo. Do you think LaMelo is a not his fault player?
Yeah, he's so banged up, man, that he hasn't had a chance to really develop. I'd say he is, but like, not everything that he does is on the Hornets necessarily. Like, he should be better around the rim and stuff like that. So I guess it depends on what your expectations are of him. But when he goes and shoots a million times and, you know, people look at his shot selection, they're like, I don't know. I do feel like a lot of that comes down to just being like a really bad team that doesn't have.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's probably, because he takes those crazy shots, I feel like he gets painted as just a stat pattern in a bad situation, you know, like he's
it's kind of true. I just think all of that stuff is exacerbated by his situation. If he was playing on a good team, I think, and he was playing like 70 games a year, I think everything would be totally different.
Yeah, but I think he'd be box office on a really good team. I think he'd be like a really big winning player.
Yeah, I completely agree. I got my nose zapped the other day, as you can tell by my Band-Aid.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened.
I had a little spot right there I talked about on an earlier episode, if you remember or care at all.
Yeah. I do care.
And it wasn't like a little cancer. It was a little messed up oil gland. And the only solution was for them to like burn it off and then have it heal. So I have to keep a Band-Aid on my nose for the next 2 weeks.
You got hit with a laser. Yeah.
They hit me with the laser. But it's a good laser, and I'm glad that it is not a little thing of cancer. So
I'm glad about that too. I'm glad that you don't have nose cancer.
It's a big win.
That would break my heart.
It would suck.
It would suck. Theo, what are you doing for your birthday? Do you have any big plans?
Nah, I already had a party because Kemi's birthday is a week before mine.
Okay.
So we had just kind of an all-encompassing birthday party last Thursday. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, nothing big
25.
Planned. I'm gonna be 25.
Your
rookie deal.
Lobe's going to be developed, man. That's crazy.
Dude, imagine how good Stay Hot is going to be.
Imagine once all three of our frontal lobes are developed, it's going to be different. Internet. It's going to break the internet.
That is true, though. You know, like, imagine if they weren't given 24-year-olds radio shows, I feel like, in the 2000s.
That's true. They weren't.
Probably not.
Or 20. When did we start this? I mean, you guys must have been 20 when we started this.
It was April 19th, 2021 was the first episode.
Yeah, so Matt was 20.
I was also 20. I had just turned 20 like 2 months prior.
The first time we went to Vegas for Summer League, we weren't 21 and could not do anything.
Yeah.
Matt was 19 for the first episode.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is true.
Yeah.
All right.
So we will be a lot better, I think. You know, like we're getting to the age...
Which is crazy,
we probably should be
so
starting
cash.
a podcast. I know. But we probably should have started the podcast when we were 25 and not 19.
But
now we've got reps.
But now we know. We do have reps.
Speaking of people who need reps before we get into the awards.
Oh, boy.
Anthony Richardson did not win the Colts starting quarterback job, and we have to talk about that.
We do. This is honestly so I've been trying to rack my head around this, and I keep trying to make a TikTok, and I'm like not entirely sure what to say, because it's just like he needs the reps, but at the same time, if they don't think that he's ready, then they shouldn't play him. you know?
He needs the reps, but the reps hurt him, and that's the great paradox. Like, he just cannot play enough consecutive games to get the reps and earn the reps. Like, he's played 5 consecutive games one time, and that's his maximum. And then he gets hurt. And in those games where he starts and finishes them, he's taking big, brutal hits. Like, every single Anthony Richardson game I watch, there's a moment where it's like, ooh, like, oh, he just got his shit rocked. Like, ooh, he just got thrown to the turf.
That preseason
ooh, he
game,
just took a big hit.
How much do you think that hit he took in that preseason game played into this decision?
He lost it right then and there, I think.
That sucks, man. But that was a brutal hit. And like, that
it's
was
not even the injury stuff. It's like, I mean, it's part of it, but like, you know, he can't protect himself, and he's getting sacked, if anything, on plays like that. My takeaway from this is that in the new era of college football with NIL, guy like that should never come out. It doesn't matter if you're going to be a top 5 pick. You cannot go into the NFL with that few attempts at the college level, because what's happened to him is exactly what has happened to Trey Lance. Now, Lance had it a little bit worse, where he had 1 year under his belt of FCS ball. And then, I mean, did Lance even get up to like 200 passing attempts at the next level? It's almost like a league above. But NFL teams, even if you spend 3 first-round draft picks to pick a guy top 5, they cannot just wait around forever for you to get good. They cannot just blow the season 3 years after they make a move like this. And they're going to have to say, like, it's time to go. Yeah, a dude like Josh Allen got a couple of years, and then he started getting really great. Even at the end of his second year, he started looking like himself, and then they push the chips in the middle. But there's no QB out there who is guaranteed to get a look his 3rd season, especially with the coaching staff that's on the hot seat, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be very good for the Colts, but I also think that Richardson would not be very good for the Colts. And while everybody is sitting here and saying, well, it doesn't even matter because our ceiling is so low with Daniels and I don't care about the floor, no coaching staff can act like that. There's no coaching staff that can go and being like, it doesn't matter what the floor is with Richardson. It's like, you will get fired.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think, like, I honestly believe that in some ways Richardson gives them a higher ceiling and higher floor. Like, I feel like the concept of ceiling and floor, I don't love it. I don't necessarily think that they're 2 separate things. I think you kind of raise both if you're a really good player, or if you're any caliber of player, like a rising tide, you know, the bottom of the ship would rise if the tide rose, and the top of the ship would rise. Like, everything is kind of going up in one piece. And in some ways, Richardson is a better quarterback than Jones. Like, he actually has a deep ball, right? Daniel Jones has no deep ball. Blaiden, we just talked about this on the Patreon with the miscellaneous, the veterans episode, and Russell Wilson was my leadoff guy just because he's such a big upgrade over Daniel Jones, right? Richardson has some sort of threat. Alec Pierce is a threat, right? When he's on the field and Anthony Richardson is the quarterback. Jonathan Taylor is more of a threat maybe because Richardson can at least keep the ball. There's a reason why since Richardson entered the league, he has a higher EPA than Jones, if not a higher success rate. He's won more games. He's led better offenses, all of that. But I just think of him like a boxer that's wobbling around, you know, like he's in this big physical fight, this sport, and he's just not going to make it. Like, he's clear that he is getting pummeled out there. Like, it's clear that he cannot protect himself. He cannot stay healthy. I feel like the reason that his completion percentage is so absurdly low is because his average depth of target is so high, you know, not just because he's inaccurate, but because he is choosing to hold the ball versus pressure. He is choosing to have eyes that are too big for his stomach and looking downfield. He is choosing to use his physicality as this like superpower, right? Like, I don't even have to worry about contact. I can take on unlimited amounts of contact. Like, and he just can't. Like, he's just getting beat up. Yeah. And so, like, when you're facing down the barrel of this gun and he just took a big hit in a preseason game that knocked him out, his pinky was facing the wrong way. It's hard to say, like, Yeah, man, that's our guy. We're riding with that guy. Like, even if his statistical byproduct of the way he plays is higher than the statistical byproduct of the way Jones plays, it's just not worth, like, the result is not worth it. Like, the process is not worth it to get to that result. Like, he's straining so much, right? He's tapping out of games. Like, it is so taxing on him to achieve these like marginally better statistical results that it's just not worth it. Like, the talent isn't worth it. Like, he's going to get himself killed out there. Like, that is the way I've thought about this quarterback battle. Like, yes, Richardson is better. Yes, he's more intriguing. Like, yes, he's won more games since Jones has been in there. Jones seems useless. Like, what does Jones do? Josh Downs might have a Wan'Dale Robinson season, and that might be the best weapon that they have. Like,
it makes sense. I hear out of camp about how Colts fans are, and how like Colts media members are all like, yeah, Richardson's like the better player. Like, he should be the starter. And then Daniels gets the nod. I almost wonder if it's, if you feel safer as if you're Steichen, you feel safer putting Daniel Jones out there. And if he's bad, you sub Richardson in as opposed to the other way around. Because then it's like, well, I made a mistake, as opposed to, well, we brought this guy in to literally with the intention of lighting a fire under Richardson. We're going to keep that pressure on him and just force him to get better in practice. And then when he earns his spot, then we can give it back to him, as opposed to, we're just going to keep trusting in this guy. And when he finally fucks up for the worst time, we'll put Jones in. Like, it's just, the optics are a little bit different.
Yeah. It almost feels like could be treated like a closer a little bit, where it's like, Jones probably isn't playing all 17 games either. I mean, Jones has massive injury issues. He's terrible. Like, there's a very real chance he plays bad enough to get benched or just gets hurt at some point. Richardson is one play away from getting in. Would you rather that point be at week 8, when it's like, okay, now you're not facing down a full season. You've had mental reps on the bench. Like, we saw it a little bit with Flacco last year, right? Like, he was getting beat up. He tapped out. He got benched. Things didn't get better with Flacco. But things did seem maybe a little bit more normal when Richardson returned, as opposed to how they were, the first 2 games. Like, he's still young. He's still developing. Like, maybe he can figure out a way to just get rid of the ball faster.
Is he still the youngest quarterback in the NFL?
I don't think he's still the youngest, but like, he's younger than some of the rookies. And this stuff, like, who knows if it'll work, but I understand the logic, like, I do understand why they felt like they had to do this. And yes, it's capping their ceiling. Obviously, like, a full season of Anthony Richardson still has a higher ceiling than a full ceiling of Daniel Jones, but it's just not that simple.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think their QB situation is super serious. I think that from here on out, like, I'm really raising my eyebrow at guys who only played one single year, depending. If a guy looked raw, if they're raw and they've played 1 year, I'm nervous about that, man. I think you absolutely have to be. I'm not so far as to where, like, I'm out on, guys who maybe aren't that great in college with tools. I know there's plenty of people victory lapping about, like, Richardson failing, and I can't help but think in my mind, I'm like, this is what it would have been like if Allen hadn't worked out. I remember so vividly when Allen got drafted, listening to local radio be like, these are like the dumbest front offices in the entire league, picking a guy like this who wasn't even good at Wyoming. And then he turned out right. And they never got the victory lap on that, of course, because he just won MVP. This is what it feels like now. It's like, okay, one of those guys didn't turn out, and Lance is somewhat similar, though Lance wasn't like bad in college.
Lance was good in college. He just came into the NFL, immediately got hurt, and then never played.
Yeah, Richardson was a special case.
You just got to throw more balls than this. You gotta, like, you're not gonna play 1 year of college, be somebody who throws like 55% completion percentage and then have the feel for the NFL level. It's just really tough to do that. And I understand, like, guaranteed money is guaranteed money or whatever, but if somebody offered you $1.5 million to stay for another year, I really think Richardson, like, I'm not saying that's what he got. And I honestly, NIL was at a different level even 3 years ago than it is today, right?
Mm-hmm.
But going forward, really think about going back if you can go back. It's better to go back than go out in general.
Yeah.
That was Bill Parcells' big thing was guys got to win at least 20 games. They got to be a senior. They got to actually graduate. I mean, here are the quarterbacks who have drafted since 2020 who attempted less than 800 passes in college. It's Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Tua, and now JJ McCarthy. So, like, there's not a lot of like really clear success stories there. There's not any playoff wins. Tua's obviously had some big statistical seasons. JJ, it remains to be seen. But yeah, below those, and those two had the most of that list. Like below them, it's Fields, Mac Jones, Richardson, and Lance. Like all those guys have been, pretty terrible for first round picks. So yeah, there might be something to it that you need to just.
I agree with some of. I think some of his criteria doesn't translate so much to 2025 necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Like the graduation thing.
Yeah.
No way. I'm caring about
no
that.
way.
Sorry.
In fact, if you graduate, I'm not drafting you in the first round. Actually,
I mean, how many?
If you're a superstar quarterback, you don't need an economics.
Hey, Jalen Hurts has a degree. Jalen Hurts has a master's degree.
And if he didn't need, he would need it if he wasn't.
You guys want to get into the awards?
Yeah.
What award do you guys want to start with? I was thinking Coach of the Year.
All right, hit us. Who do you have for Coach of the Year?
I was looking at the Coach of the Year odds, and I'm seeing at the very top Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Liam Cohen, Kellen Moore, and to me, the only guy who sticks out as like an obvious pick to me is Liam Cohen. Like, I get the excitement with Ben Johnson, but no one is even considering the Bears to be first in the division, second in the division. Same goes for the Patriots. Same goes for the Saints. And when I look at like previous Coach of the Year winners, there is not this would be a great trivia question. There has only been one NFL Coach of the Year winner ever to have a losing record. Do you know which team and year that is?
A losing record and their Coach of the Year?
Once ever.
I have no idea who that could be.
It was 1990, Jimmy Johnson, Dallas Cowboys. So it's just like the only team that I feel comfortable picking to have a winning record with like reasonable Coach of the Year expectations for like the new coaches, and those are usually the guys that are getting the first nods at that, is Liam Cohen. So that's kind of where I feel comfortable right now.
You don't think the Bears could win positive games?
It's not that I don't think they could. I just think their division's too hard. Like,
they do have a very tough division. I can get behind that.
I think Caleb is too good too for Ben Johnson. Like,
well, I don't know. I think that's interesting because like if the pass game for the Jaguars ends up being really good, because that's their path, right? Or at least part of it, of course, to being a good team. Do you think it's going to be like maybe Cohen gets the credit for a Lawrence jump, but Brian Thomas Jr. is like a beast demon. He could, like, I don't know, a high-end outcome for him would be like competing for first team All-Pro. And Travis Hunter could be an offensive rookie of the year guy, and he could get a lot of credit for that.
Sure. But the Browns had 4 guys win an award.
Yeah, I actually, that's what I'm saying, is that I don't think necessarily if like Caleb has a really good year. If Caleb has a really good year,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Ben Johnson will get credit for that. And rightfully so, because Caleb's coming off a year where he was not that good, and his coaches are being blamed. And Ben Johnson already has his reputation as quarterback whisperer who's going to come in and completely change the situation. Now, he drafted some really good guys, and maybe Loveland gets a lot of credit. But even if Loveland goes off, people are going to say, like, look, Loveland's a beast, which he is. But Sam Laporta, now Loveland, how does Ben Johnson do it? Usually rookie tight ends aren't like this, although I guess it's kind of changing.
Yeah.
But Johnson's awesome. And I think those guys being favorites totally makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get a little bit concerned just because when you win Coach of the Year, usually you have like a pretty bad quarterback that you're elevating as a coach. Like usually it just goes to the worst quarterback in the playoff field, and the coach that is leading that team gets the award. And if Caleb hits and the Bears hit, like, is Ben Johnson going to be Coach of the Year, or is Caleb going to be too good for Ben Johnson to get the credit?
That's not the word. I mean, you look at the last 4 winners of Coach of the Year. It's Kevin O'Connell, it's Kevin Stefanski, Brian Dable,
Arnold, Flacco, Daniel Jones, Ryan Tannehill.
That's a good point. So
then after that, it's like Baker and Lamar and
and John Harbaugh is on there, and he had Lamar Jackson, who won MVP that year. And Harbaugh clearly was given some credit for developing that and harboring a culture where Lamar Jackson could actually thrive when everybody else passed on him. But then again, it goes to Matt Nagy, who made the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky, and then it goes to Sean McVay, who turned Jared Goff around.
So,
although maybe
give us your team with the worst quarterback who will make the playoffs then.
Who could it be?
Because that's the question, but I don't know if I see anybody who sticks out as like they're going to make the offs with a bad QB, although that's why those guys win Coach of the Year, because you don't expect it.
You could maybe, I'm not sure if there's a team that really stands out, but maybe Kevin O'Connell goes back to back O'Connell. If our QB experience theory holds true, and JJ is like just okay, and they're still in the playoffs.
What about some of these other guys outside the top 4 names, or like the biggest, like Pete Carroll's in this range also. Sean Payton is up here. Kyle Shanahan.
If the Broncos win the AFC West, honestly, if any team other than the Chiefs win the AFC West, they've got a really good shot at having the Coach of the Year.
And that's Harbaugh's up there too.
Yeah. I like Pete Carroll just because things are very new around there, and that could spark a big turnaround just generally. Like, again, with Geno, we talked about it a million times. Like, you're turning the whole organization around in this new era. And if the early returns are good, it's easy to get Coach of the Year. I think the same thing is true of Liam Cohen. Like, maybe Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. But what's happening this year with Travis Hunter and Cohen, and the Jaguars have just been so bad. Like, he'd be turning the whole organization around. And I guess that's true for Ben Johnson as well. Sean McVay won it when he turned Goff around. Goff turned into an extremely productive quarterback. But McVay still got the award. So I think all those things are good. I guess the guy I'll go with for my official pick, I'll go with Dan Campbell. And go kind of the opposite direction of Ben Johnson, where he lost Ben Johnson and he lost Aaron Glenn. I mean, these are guys. Ben Johnson is literally first for Coach of the Year. People think he's going to be the best head coach in the league, and the Lions lost that. What if the Lions win the division and have it locked up by week 15, week 14, week 13?
That's a good pick. I like that.
It's not.
I think there's a lot of good options.
He's plus 4,000. I think that's pretty crazy. But
and everybody likes him.
Everyone likes him. I do wonder if he's too notable, too notable. Like
Tomlin doesn't have one in his whole career.
That's what I'm saying. Tomlin does Andy Reid have one?
Yeah, he's got one.
Did he get one?
At some point. He must have, with like the Eagles or something at least.
Yeah, he won one in 2002, but he hasn't won one since then.
Okay,
like,
he did win one.
It wouldn't necessarily be shocking if the Lions had a good season, which is why.
But I think they would have to be
he's so low.
Really, I think they would have to be the best team in the NFL.
But if they are the best team in the NFC, if they get the 1 seed again, I feel like these 2 coordinators that they've lost are just bigger stars than we've ever seen before.
Yeah, I could totally see the vision on that. My pick, I think it's a expectation award. Whoever beats expectations the most wins the thing. Now, in some ways, I think that could totally change where, like, if Dak Prescott went down, but the Cowboys were still good, they'd be beating expectations, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that's going to happen, but you know what I mean. And the team that I have slated to beat expectations right now on my card is the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go Gannon. I think if the Cardinals are good and they end up coming out in the NFC West, even if the Rams are struggling with Stafford and even if the 49ers are coming off a bad year, I think the Cardinals could find themselves in a position where they'd be like more of a competitive team than you'd expect. I won't lie, after hearing like the Cohen and the Ben Johnson, those guys do seem kind of like obvious choices where they're primed for a big jump, but they'll probably still get the tag of like really beating expectations if they can land the thing. Especially like Cohen, where the Jaguars have a clear path to being way better, but they're not like so good on the roster. It's like it's not really like an expectation. It's perfectly in that balance.
Yeah.
Or like if the Patriots like win 10 games.
I think the Cardinals are a really good pick. That's a team that, I mean, we'll
see how high their defense can actually get and how much Kyler Murray locks in. But part of the reason why I think they have a chance is that if Kyler Murray has a great season and locks in, people might attribute that to like good coaching because the narrative about him so much is that he doesn't, which, you know, is what it is. So I've got Gannon.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of those are teams that people wouldn't expect to win their division, but can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cardinals have been on a very linear development path so far. Like literally every year they get a little bit better. They were terrible, then they were mid, and now they're probably the best team to not make the playoffs. And like if the Josh Sweat edition pushes them over the top, which it very well could, then they could win the division.
Then that would be great.
Then Jonathan Gannon could take home the hardware. He's got that fire in his gut.
Fair enough.
I agree. He's got that iron in him.
So we've got Liam Cohen, Dan Campbell, and Jonathan Gannon as the stay hot coach of the year picks. I like all of those picks, except I do think Campbell's really he's gonna have his work cut out for him.
He'd have to win like 15 games.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I think that's in the cards for them. It's doable, but they'll need some stuff to go their way. Next up, I have the Rookie of the Year picks. We'll start with offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, the big names, Genty, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter. Do you guys have any of those guys winning it?
Yeah, I've got Ashton Genty winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is in line for the most volume of any offensive rookie. He's also the best offensive rookie, so I have him winning it. A cool side pick, who probably is not that far down the list, would be Loveland. He's somebody who could factor in super quickly to a good offense, and he's got, like, the strength of his game is more like route running chops and being kind of a passing threat, and those get you the numbers that you need, but Genty is better than him. Genty is the best offensive player, and he'd have to be in a really negative situation for me to not pick him. There's other contenders, of course. There's a really good quarterback in Tennessee. Travis Hunter could be crazy. Like, there's a lot of options, but I'm going Genty.
Loveland I'm seeing plus 5,000 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That's probably about right. A tight end, it's tough. You're betting he could have a great year and finish with 850 yards.
Yeah.
And not even have
we just saw Bowers like break multiple records and not win it. So
right.
Yeah.
So and then what's gonna happen is, like, even if he has an awesome year, well, Bowers, you know, just last year. So it'll make it seem like so it would be really tough. But Loveland should be a good player right away. That's my expectation with him. Yeah. Another fun pick, especially with how things are shaping up now, Ibuka maybe could be the wide receiver that goes crazy. And T-Mac as well. Like, I think there's a lot of good contenders in a year where there isn't necessarily like a ton of QBs who are starting week one or anything.
Yeah.
Which sometimes you have a year where it's like there's 4 quarterbacks starting week one, and that's like, okay, well, one of them is going to win it. There's literally no way it's somebody else, right?
I think this is all paving the way for Cam Ward to win it.
I was thinking the same thing, dude.
If there's one quarterback that's starting and it's Cam Ward, then maybe he'll just take it home. Because you're right, Matt, that Bowers, didn't have too much of a prayer. Now, Jaden Daniels, what did they win? 13 games. If the Titans win 12 or 13 games, like, it'll be a wrap. But I don't think that's going to happen. At the same time, we have seen these big turnarounds happen quickly recently with some of these quarterbacks. I mean, CJ Stroud, nobody thought they could turn the Texans around. Mm-hmm. Nobody thought Daniels could turn the Commanders around so quickly. I don't think Ward is stepping into the worst situation in Tennessee, and I really like the way that Ward has looked in the preseason. He looks comfortable. He looks natural. He looks like he's not thinking too hard about anything. Like looking at him and looking at Jackson Dart, it looks completely different because Cam Ward has been unleashed a little bit. Like Cam Ward is legitimately pushing the ball down the field. He's hit multiple intermediate routes. Like I think his processing and his accuracy has stood out to me. We haven't really seen him have to create too much. He hasn't made any of the like ridiculous Mahomes-esque plays that we know he's capable of, but just from a pocket pass, like we've seen him step up. We've seen him drip back and throw off the back.
He seems really comfortable, man, and that's the hard part. Yeah. It really is.
So I like him with Calvin Ridley, and I know that the line, I know everything looks very questionable in Tennessee, but I don't think the cupboard is as bare maybe as it's been with some other number 1 overall picks. Like they were big spenders this offseason. So, and the division is pretty weak that they're in. So maybe they can do a little bit. So I'll go with Cam Ward as my official pick. But I might also want to talk about some sleepers, but I want to hear, Blaiden, who your top guy is.
Cam Ward's also that's what I was kind of thinking the same thing, is just like, he's the only quarterback that's starting. He's been looking really good in the preseason. But if you want to talk about a sleeper, I know you're a big TreVeyon Henderson fan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was hoping that you would pick TreVeyon Henderson straight up.
No.
That dude's so good. Like if there is any question about like if Genty's getting enough volume, which I don't think there will be, or if Cam Ward has a slow start, I think Henderson could be in a really fast-paced start early. I mean, they were so bad running the ball last year. To have a guy this explosive is just, it totally changes the Patriots offense.
Yeah, he's had such an amazing preseason with the kickoff return touchdown that he had. And then last week in the Vikings game, he really picked his way through the defense for a 9-yard score. I'd made a video breaking it down where he feigned the cutback, caused the defensive tackles to rock back, and then exploited the front side gap that he himself created. You know, he overcame bad blocking in front of him on that play and then broke some tackles on his way to the end zone. Like, it's just not vision that you see all the time from rookies. Like, he understood exactly how to make, what did I say that confused you guys a few episodes ago? Chicken salad out of chicken shit. That's exactly what he did. He cooked up something nice out of a really bad look. And they can throw him screens. They can get him the ball on kickoffs. Like, if he's going to be this dynamic, he could certainly make some noise. I think he's a great sleeper pick. But to be better than Cam Ward, I mean, Cam Ward, the Titans could finish last in the division, and if Cam Ward
to be better than Ashton Genty.
To be better than Ashton Genty as well. Yeah, for sure.
Look, I don't dislike Henderson. He could have a bunch of explosive plays and win it, but also he is not the best running back in the draft class, and he's not the running back in the draft class who's in line for the most work. That's Genty. That's both Genty. So,
yeah,
I favor him over everything. Again, I think we've gotten to the point, I've said it like 4 times now, I think we've gotten to the point where everyone's kind of a little bit forgotten how good Genty is. And I have my worries about, like, again, the Raiders offense and how great it'll be, but I also think that the volume can really help here with Genty. And I think, is he not going to have a lot of great highlight plays?
Yeah, I mean, he already was trucking everybody in that second preseason game. He's very, very physical.
He is. But yeah, no, it is weird. I almost wonder, could it hurt Genty's odds to, like, people have this, I don't even know what, like, I don't know, they're like soured about talking about him. He's just been talked about too much. Everyone's like,
If he
does not have voter
give him
fatigue for offensive rookie of the year.
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Baker won over Saquon, didn't he? You know, like that's Chenty's biggest.
No, I thought
top right
did Baker win it? I think
Baker did win it over Saquon.
I gotta look this up now. But
did he?
I don't think he did. I could have swore Saquon won it and Brown.
Saquon went great because Saquon had the most yards from scrimmage as a rookie. No,
he did.
There's no way he didn't win.
Yeah, Saquon won it. Saquon won it in 2018. And then Kyler in 19, Herbert in 20, Chase in 21, Wilson 22.
Maybe I'm thinking about Herbert winning it over Jefferson.
Yeah, I know that was controversial also. That was
that one, Herbert really did have a good rookie. Ty does go to the quarterback.
No one taking Travis Hunter?
It's really interesting. He really, really looks like a good wide receiver, man. We talked about him, Blaiden, on the Patreon after the first preseason game, but like the level of it's like an alien. Like the level of tempoing in his routes and the level of explosiveness in his breaks and the level of craftiness after the catch in his hands. He really could be such a great receiver. But then he's on defense and Brian Thomas Jr. is also there. And in that preseason game, all we really saw him doing is slants and like screens. And you're trying to imagine him going across the middle a little bit more. You're trying to imagine him stretching the field. And it's like, how much of that type of stuff is going to be on his plate compared to T-Mac, who should be, you know, getting a huge bulk of the workload. Yeah. He is their Brian Thomas Jr., right? Like he is.
There's other guys who are going to be wide receiver one as a rookie, or guys who are in a passing offense that is already crazy, who are going to be like a key contributor, who don't have any risk of like, I might be playing cornerback, so I'm going to sit out some reps.
Another good sleeper is Matthew Golden, man. Like Matthew Golden kind of completes the Packers' big three a little bit, where they've got Josh Jacobs now when the defense is in a too high shell. Jacobs obviously just had a great season. They ran the ball a ton, like the highest run rate in the league. Is it going to be more, cover one for the Packers like they saw at the end of last year? They just got Golden, who's supposed to beat all those looks. And we're still thinking about the Packers receiving core as like, well, it's a collection of a bunch of guys, right? They haven't focused on one receiver the last 2 years in the Jordan Love era. It's been spread out all around. Golden was a complimentary piece at Texas. He was somebody that I know like a lot of the fantasy people are low on because he didn't dominate like some of these other receivers did, right? Like he just didn't break out that early. Like he only had a couple games there at the end where he was really showing off. But if he is a consistent one-on-one winner and if his hands are reliable, well, he's the best Packers receiver by far. Like if he can catch, right, he's the best Packers receiver by far. Like he is hugely important to an offense that should be top 10, to an offense that should be in the playoffs, right? Like he is, I think he's being severely underrated in fantasy right now, and that could trickle into the rookie of the year odds as well. Like he is in a beautiful situation where I think he could be a lot more of a security blanket for Love than people think. And, put up big numbers in a great offense. He can get yak. He can win outside. He can win inside. He can take the top off. Like his hands are ridiculous. Like he was everybody's darling going into the draft, and then he fell a little bit, and now it feels like, I don't know, like he's just not that interesting his expectations aren't that high, clearly. Like, where is he in these rookie of the year odds? He's below Igbuka, who's got a ton of, where even is he?
Igbuka's a demon, though.
Okay, he's right below. His odds are like twice as long as Igbuka's. they're like in the Tyler Warren range. They're in the his odds are the same as Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Like we don't even know that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is going to be on the field that much.
Yeah, and I think Golden's a better player than that.
Yes, and Golden is a better player than Ja'Cory Krosky.
You sent me a trade offer for him. You're trying to rip away.
Dude, sell high on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt fantasy people right now. Like right now, there are so many like delusional fantasy bros out there. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is like a good sleeper, and I'm glad to have picked him up in free agency a month ago. But like, you could probably fleece somebody for him right now. But,
unless they listen to this podcast, in which case, no chance.
They can't be fooled by anything if they've listened to this podcast.
Exactly.
You guys want to get into Defensive Rookie of the Year, though?
I feel like this one is just, I think it's going to be Carter.
Yeah, I also think it's going to be Carter. I have a hard time picking anybody else. Hunter, I think, is a great player, but I mean, we don't even know how much corner he's really going to play.
Right.
And already, I think you're a positional disadvantage if you're anything other than an edge rusher for awards. Also, Carter looked really good in preseason. I think he's just like going to translate as a physical threat basically right away. And he's in a really good situation where there's other threats on that defensive line, like super seriously. Honestly, like kind of a rarely good situation in terms of like producing quickly. So I think he's the best defensive player. I think he's in a really good situation. I think he's going to be active from day one. He's my pick.
Yeah, he's a lock, isn't he? Like if he stays healthy, he has too much juice. He's looked pretty good as a run defender as well. I know he got chipped and started chirping, and that may have hit him with a little bit of aura tax, but the guy should have 10 sacks right away. And I just don't know who else in this class that's true for. Like Mike Green has looked really good. But it does feel like he's going to be a bit more of a rotation player in Baltimore's stable as opposed to somebody who's out there all of the time. Jihad Campbell, again, like, is he going to be kind of worked in slowly throughout the year? I don't know. Michael Williams, is he going to be a big sack guy? Is Shamar Stewart going to be a big sack guy?
Especially year one?
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing it.
Right. I'm not loving how Atlanta is utilizing Jalen Walker so far. Like, it seems like they've made him a pure edge, and I think he should be more of I think they should give him a look off the ball where the size concerns aren't as big. So I don't think he's going to be more productive than Abdul Carter, who is like actually a pure bendy edge. Yeah. So yeah.
Javon Curse has the record for most sacks as a rookie with 14.5. Do you think Abdul Carter can go for that record?
He can, but I don't think he's going to get there. 14.5.
That's pretty tough.
How many did Myles Garrett get as a rookie? He got like 7.
Myles Garrett missed time too, though. He didn't
How many
play.
games?
That's a good question.
He only played in 11, and he got 7 sacks.
So he was not on pace.
Still, I mean, Garrett didn't get to 14.5 until he was 26 in 2021.
That's true.
That was his 5th year in the league.
But the defensive line in Cleveland wasn't as good as it is.
Yeah, like it could happen, but you're
Garrett didn't get 14.5 when he won DPOY last year. You have 14. 14.5 is a lot of sacks.
14.5 is a lot. It is. But it's not
if Carter's that good, they'll just start chipping him and avoiding him. And getting 15 sacks as a rookie. Whew.
It'd be pretty tough.
That's fair. Let's get into offensive and defensive player of the year. Offensive player, the favorites are Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry. Jahmyr Gibbs is in this conversation as well. Who do you guys have winning offensive player of the year this year?
That's a good question.
I'm going Jamar. I think getting a triple crown and not winning it is a pretty tough break, honestly. Yeah. I'm not saying that Saquon didn't deserve it. I'm just saying it's a tough break. It's happened 5 times ever. And frankly, I think Jamar's in a really good position to go for it again. Don't know if he'll repeat in the sense that, like, obviously Triple Crown is kind of a finicky stat to get in the sense that you can, like, lose it by, like, a catch and it's like doesn't really matter at all, or you can be awesome but someone, gets 14 touchdowns, you only get 13, it doesn't matter. But I just think Chase is a tier 1 offensive player, and I think he's in the best situation, barring maybe Saquon, who is coming off a year where he did so much work. I think it's possible for him to take a little bit of a step back in terms of just his overall workload, which would be wise for the Eagles. And it's just tough for running backs to repeat seasons like that. So I'm going to go with Chase.
Let me go with I'm going to be different. I'm going to say Puka Nacua.
Said I'm going to be different. Why Puka?
I don't love Puka as a pick.
You don't love him?
I don't love it. I see the vision because Puka is a demon. He's like the yards per route run phenom, and if everything goes right, like he's one of the guys who could have like the wide receiver 1 year, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But Stafford is like a huge question. I just don't think he's going to win it with Garoppolo.
He's good to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. Like he's tied to a dude who's super injury prone, and as much as like we might want to sit here and be like, well, if he does so and so with the backup, maybe he'll get credit. At the end of the day,
no, the backup, yeah,
it's not gonna work as an argument for offensive player of the year. It's not going to. People are gonna look at the stats and gonna say this guy had this many yards, and that's it.
I just think Devontae is going to make the whole environment better, and I think Stafford. Obviously, I'm concerned about his back, but I feel like we're kind of always concerned about Stafford's back or his shoulder, or like some shit is always going wrong with that guy. Plus, he's dead, and it's a valid
concern.
It's a valid concern, but like, I mean, is he just going to be out for the season? Like, if he's in, Puka gets so much work. Yeah, like, dude. Puka Nacua's target share is
crazy. It's crazy.
37.1%. The gap between Nacua and second place is larger than the gap between second and 28th place. Like, it's constantly 14 targets for Nacua, 15 targets for Nacua, 9 targets for Nacua.
So then why do you like Adam being there?
Because I think that it just helps them continue to move the ball down the field. Like, I think this Rams offense has a chance to be really good because of the Adams addition. Like, Chase had T. Higgins. Did it matter? I don't think Chase would be better off without T. Higgins.
True, but my argument isn't necessarily that Chase's target share will be so great. I see your vision. Stafford does like to throw to the same guy over and over and over, and that helps Puka with yards. But I also think Puka has injury concerns, and I think Stafford has injury concerns. And that makes it not my favorite pick, but I can't deny your path. I see your vision.
Yeah, Puka played all 17 games as a rookie. Finished with he did finish with over 1,500 yards from scrimmage. The touchdown numbers probably got to be a little bit higher, but I do wonder if there's a real nuclear season that Puka can still get to. I mean, he's only going to be 24 years old. His first 2 years in the league, like, he's averaging 1,500 yards per 17 games with like almost a 60% success rate on his targets. He's an analytics darling, and then he's just a dog when you turn on the film. He can block, he breaks tackles, he runs beautiful routes. He's so smooth. He made I think he had catch of the year last year as well on the sideline. Like, his hands are soft. He's diving around, like, catching everything. Like, let me go with the sleeper here and say Puka.
I'm gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs. He was the touchdown leader last year, in both rushing and receiving combined. He was tied with Derrick Henry for total rushing touchdowns, and he tied Derrick Henry in rushing touchdowns with 75 fewer carries. He had 1,400 yards, despite having 50 fewer carries than the next guy who had 1,400 total yards. Like, if he can get the volume of, like, you don't have anyone kind of taking away some of his touches, which I think he could be in a line for a bigger workload just off the season alone that he had. I think he could put up some truly like scary numbers. Like I think we can get into, and his efficiency is off the charts too, 5.6 yards per carry. We can get into like some truly ungodly numbers with him.
Yeah, I feel like a running back, for them to win it, the defense has to be pretty good, right? And the Lions have that. The Ravens had that last year. The Eagles had that last year, right? For Saquon and Derrick Henry. Like, it just helps out. They can be in positive game script situations, and Gibbs can just rack it up.
Dude, he's just so good. I mean, that's the other thing, is you got to just pick players who are really, really good at football.
Yeah, I'll change my pickup to be a little different. Throw some spice in there. Why not?
There we go.
Give me Nico Collins. Ultra, super, mega efficient. The receivers around him are what they are. I think the offense is going to have to run through him as much as ever. Could you see a season where he finally gets, he's maxed out at 109 targets so far in his career, but last season he was on pace for significantly more. I think this year it could be even greater, his pace. If he sees 150, 160 targets, I think he'd have a real shot at it too. Maybe Chase is just the better bet. Chase has got to be. Chase has got to be the betting favorite. He has to be.
Saquon for sure. That I'm seeing right now.
Saquon. All right, that makes sense, right? Like it's got to be those two.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously
Chase is next up, but Saquon's got a pretty decent gap on him right now.
Yeah. Running backs have decent gaps over receivers. It seems like Jamar is the highest rated receiver by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson.
So I'll say Collins is my dark horse pick then.
Yeah, CD would be my dark horse.
CD, I don't even know if I'd quite consider dark horse. I mean, I think he's probably. I think he'll finish.
Him and Nico have the same odds.
Really? Well, I think CD is going to be like wide receiver 2 this year. I mean, the Cowboys are going to throw a ton. I don't think their run game is going to be very good. I think there's potential for their defense to really stink. So,
right,
he's a good one. How about Drake London, Blaiden?
You read my mind. Except
he's not a bad dark horse.
Except the quarterback needs to be good, right?
I have my I just don't think Drake London is quite that good.
Yeah,
he's great.
You'll come around.
You
think he's best offensive player in the NFL? Good.
I think
even Collins is kind of.
Dude, I mean, his skill set is so complete. Like I mean,
if Puka can be the best, Drake London can be the best.
Yeah.
Drake London did have
what?
Like, I don't think Puka and Drake London have like different levels of skill within it. Like, I think Drake London can be Puka Nacua level good, and I think Puka is my pick. I mean, Drake London just does everything like at such a high level. Yep. Like could be the best contested catch guy in the league. He runs phenomenal routes. He's a dog after the catch. Like in the games with Penix, he did have 39 targets in 3 games to end the year. And his 3-game pace there was 6 yards beneath 2,000 yard season.
Oh yeah.
So what if Penix is just a goat and feeds him Matthew Stafford style and he turns into Calvin Johnson?
What if?
I mean, no, I'm right there with you. I think his skill set is just I think he's got the most complete skill set of any wide receiver.
He's not this good. He is not a top 5
I'm not saying that he is the best at everything that he does, but I'm saying he does everything. And that's something that I don't know how many receivers have a skill set as wide as he does. Where he's like he's a good blocker, he's a great route runner, he's got great hands, he's great after the catch. I'm just like, where's the flaw? Not that he's the best at any of these things, but where's the flaw in his game? I just don't quite think he's this level of player. I think he's really great. I don't think he's this level of guy. Is he as good as Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or I don't know, CD Lamb, AJ Brown? Like, he's just not quite on that level of guy.
Yet.
Yet. Yeah. No,
maybe he takes a big step.
I think Puka is the closest comp of like a guy that would be considered like quite elite. But and some people wouldn't consider
Puka's rookie season is better than any year that Drake London has had.
Yet.
Puka, there has not been a day where Puka has been worse than Drake London in the NFL. Hasn't happened. It hasn't.
Wait. October 14th, 2025.
October 14th. Is that even a Sunday?
Puka's my pick. Puka's my pick. So, shout out Puka. He's a dog, obviously. But Drake London has a Puka ceiling.
October 14th, 2025 is a Tuesday.
Tuesday? Well, he's just going to have a great day of practice that day.
But defensive player of the year, if we want to move into that, the favorites are obviously Garrett, Hutchinson, Parsons, Watts up there. But we just had a corner win it. Could a corner win it again this year?
It's possible, but it's just really tough.
It is tough.
My pick, I think this is the Parsons here.
On the Packers, though, right?
No, not on the Packers. On Carolina, if anything. But I think I'm envisioning he sits for one game of a holdout, and they let up 50 points or something horrific. It's a disaster. And then he goes back in, and they're just regular, not that great. And it's wow, Parsons' impact is crazy. He's also one of the tier 1 edge rushers, and I think he's the only tier 1 edge rusher who hasn't gotten one yet. And frankly, it's it just might be his time. That's kind of my thought process here. But it could be another Garrett year or whoever, right? It's always tough to tell who's actually going to bring down the quarterback and not just get a pressure the extra 2 or 3 times. But I'm going edge rusher. I'm going Parsons.
My only concern with Parsons right now winning it isn't even a holdout. It's their run defense is so bad that I worry teams might just run the ball too much for him to get enough sacks.
I don't hate that take. I think that makes sense. I will say one thing I was thinking about. I'm do you need to be on a great defense to win this thing? And that's going to be a big limiting factor. And the answer is not really.
I think
it helps. No, because Aaron Donald won some years where they really weren't that great. TJ Watt,
but
he had all those sacks. The Steelers defense didn't really. Yeah, but Hendrickson
is also Hendrickson.
Hendrickson
Hendrickson
not
is
that good, but
it helps to be on a good defense, but it's not a disqualifying to be on an average or slightly below average defense.
And where did Hendrickson finish in the voting? Second? He came pretty close.
Yeah. But I feel
he just doesn't have
a big
the aura
reason
of
why
Parsons.
I feel a big reason why Surtain won it over Hendrickson is because the Broncos defense was really, really good, and he's the guy
that matters.
On their defense.
But it's not disqualifying. There have been guys who have won it on not great defenses.
I think if Parsons leads the league in sacks, it won't matter that much how bad the Packers defense is because Parsons is just a known top player in the league. Parsons.
I think it's funny you said the Packers defense.
Well, have you seen the reports?
Have you seen? That's not that crazy.
I mean,
they're
sure, he
offering trades for.
They could, but I'm assuming that they're trying to get Dallas. I'm going to assume he's playing in Dallas.
No. Well, apparently the Packers offered 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a 5th-round pick.
And they declined. No. Fair enough. He's a baller. I wouldn't trade him. But
exactly.
I do like your Chris Jones holdout type of idea. Remember when Chris Jones held out that first game? It was literally the opener, too. It was literally the season opener against
exactly
Detroit.
What could happen, where it's you don't even, and you don't even need to see it for long. It literally could be, who do they play? They play the Eagles.
They play the Eagles week 1.
Perfect. Right? Okay, so they'll lose. Parsons holds out for exactly one game. They get walloped in that one, right? They let up 50 points and maybe Dak doesn't have a good game, something like that. You don't even need Dak to have a bad game, but whatever. And then Parsons starts playing, and it's from that point on, you don't even get dinged for the Cowboys defense not being that good, because in a primetime moment, everybody will understand what the Cowboys defense is around Parsons, which is really bad. It's really not that good at all. And if you finish the year as the Cowboys had an even remotely close to average defense, what would you say other than Parsons' impact? And the reason why that'll work is because Parsons is a defensive player level of the year guy, and it is true. It is his impact that's keeping them from being a horrible defense. So it makes perfect sense. And the advanced analytics or whatever could easily agree with it because Parsons really is that type of guy. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I think when we talk about award voting, me specifically, it's easy to get caught up in like the narrative of like what could happen. But with this, it's like the narrative is lining up for a guy who's like actually like that. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm picking Parsons. Plus, he's just due. He is. He truly is the dewest tier 1 edge rusher. So
he is due.
There's no argument against it. We can skip on.
Yeah.
Skip it. Except Garrett might just win it again, man. I don't know if. I mean, he's looking like in just as good of a shape as he's always been. And their defensive line might be better than it was when he won it the first time. That I'm envisioning a bounce back for the Browns defense with Garrett kind of leading the charge here. If he has a season similar to the one in 2023 or even better than that, I think the award goes to him.
You didn't even bring up your boy for Depoy. Or D-Roy, I mean. Mason Graham.
No, I don't know if I would pick Graham to. I think being on the interior defensive line makes it too hard.
It does make it more difficult. But he could get a lot of sacks and being there with Garrett. That's pretty good.
Being there with Garrett is huge. He can get a lot of. I mean, if you're doubling someone on the Browns defense, it's definitely going to be Garrett. I think there's a world where Mason Graham is putting up big numbers, or even like. I could see Schlesinger having a pretty good year too.
Schlesinger winning D-Roy would be
that would be insane. That would be completely insane.
That would be something. But Garrett's a fine pick for Depoy.
Yeah,
like,
I think Garrett.
It's a tier 1 edge rusher. Could be any of them.
Garrett's the best in the league, like along with I think Jefferson, but Garrett might be number 1 right now. Like everything you like about Parsons, Garrett has and more. Like he's bigger. He's probably got more moves. Like he's just crazy. The rest of the defense,
and he's got a defensive coordinator that wants him to.
Yeah,
you're not realizing the Jerry Jones hate narrative will fuel Parsons' campaign in a way that Myles Garrett's really won't.
Jerry Jones is Darth Sidious, and Micah Parsons is Anakin Skywalker, and he's like fueling.
You can
his
see
anger.
it now. It's like. They like everyone's like, Micah comes back after like the Cowboys have blown a couple of games that they maybe didn't need to. And then everybody is itching to be like, see, Jerry Jones is such a moron. He didn't even pay the defensive player of the year because he's the big, like you can totally see how that starts up. And it really is all about narrative, how good the players are. Do we want to talk about MVP?
Well, we have to talk about Protector of the Year first.
Oh my God. Well, we have done, I didn't remember to write that one down. I do have my pick for it. We've talked about it before, but
are you sticking with Lane?
I forgot that's added to the list. I am sticking with Lane. I love that pick. Theo, I'll give you the credit for this one. But I think Lane's the best tackle.
I was a genius for thinking about Lane Johnson.
Well, no, because we have to think of something to say other than like, I think that Lane Johnson is the best tackle in the NFL because his numbers are nuts. Like, he lets up the least amount of pressures with the biggest workload or whatever, right? But I do agree, first-time protector, they're probably going to target somebody a little bit older. And I think it's going to be a little bit favored towards pass protection because of the name of the award.
I think Lane and Trent Williams, I'm looking at like crazy value right now. I'm looking at the odds for Protector of the Year on DraftKings. Do you want to know what they are?
The favorite.
Would love to hear it.
I know who the favorite is.
The favorite is Sewell plus 450. Then it's Lane plus 750. Then it's Trent Williams plus 1,000. Then it's Mulata plus 1,200. Joe Alt plus 1,500. Quentin Nelson plus 2,000. Deion Dawkins plus 2,000. Laramie Tunsil plus 2,200. Creed Humphrey plus 2,500.
Seeing a lot of interior offensive lineman discrimination here.
I swear to God, they will be at a disadvantage with this. I promise you. I really, 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 really think the protector of the year will favor tackles and pass protection. That'll be the focus. Because they couldn't just say offensive lineman of the year. They gave it that name. We will have a semantic debate about this come week 16. I promise.
There's some good value. You know, I'll go. I think it'll be Lane, but I'm gonna say as a sleeper, an interior lineman, bro. Tyler Smith is different. I think that is a take I've developed this offseason, that like Tyler Smith is a superstar guard, and that guy is way too strong. Like, he's way too good of a person mover. He is like locked down in pass protection. I don't think he'll actually win it over Lane Johnson or even Sewell, because like those guys are pretty much locks to have good seasons and their tackles and whatever. But Tyler Smith isn't even like in these odds, and I think he's one of the top offensive linemen in the whole league. Like, I like him more than Miners after. I don't think I ranked him higher when we did our interior lineman thing, but watching more Tyler Smith, like, this guy is, they've found the spiritual successor to like Larry Allen. He's so big and strong. Like, it's crazy. So shout out Tyler Smith.
Shout out.
I would say that we should also do comeback player of the year, but I feel like that's such a I
know, I like comeback player of the year is my favorite award.
Is it your favorite award? It's just it can be anyone, dude.
It could be any quarterback in the NFL. You never ever know. I think, okay, I had 3 names written down. First off, Dak is the best quarterback coming off a major injury.
Right.
So
he's
that
the
naturally
favorite.
Should make him the favorite. Right. The biggest big injury to a great player that comes to mind immediately is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep. He's
right.
second.
If he comes back and he's awesome after like torn ACLs on there, like he really messed up his leg. So I think it could potentially be him, and it would be super impressive if he came back and was effective. And it could be the difference between the Lions being like, you know, a team that takes a big step back versus a team that's right back in contention. Mm-hmm. But my third ultra sleeper, if Nick Chubb were to be effective in place of Joe Mixon as the starter, I don't think it'll happen, because when he played for the Browns last year, like, he was bad.
I saw a video of him squatting 500 pounds recently, though. So
I think he'll be able to do that the rest of his life, to be honest. Like, I think Nick Chubb will be 80 years old.
Squatting 500 pounds.
Squatting 500 pounds.
My pick would honestly be J.J. McCarthy, kind of off the...
That'd be total BS.
It would be, and that's why it'll happen. That's why it'll happen, because it'll be BS.
Why would it be BS, though? He got hurt last year.
He did get hurt last year, but he never played. So
you can't win comeback player of the year if you did not have your debut. I'm sorry. Like, I get the sentiment. No, sorry. That's not...
And I think that's
not right.
It'll be the debate that'll happen, right? It'll be Dak and McCarthy are going to be battling out for the award, and they're going to say that McCarthy deserves
Where are his odds? Does he have odds
at 1,000 I'm seeing right now.
That's super high. No. Well, okay, we'll have to go settle this on Twitter right after the episode. I'll be tweeting something about this.
No,
Richardson.
If you tweet about it now, it's going to plant the seed, and then he's definitely going to win it.
No, I'll argue so good, everyone. His odds will go down on
your argument will be so good that his odds will go down. Theo, if this is your favorite award, who do you have winning comeback player of the year?
Well, let's go through the list. Hutchinson, I think his expectations are too high. Like, he's, honest to God, the defensive player of the year favorite. So I feel like comeback player of the year is...
No, he couldn't win both.
Down,
right? Like,
off of his...
He totally... What do you mean he couldn't win both?
People think it's too much. Like, if he's not... I think he could win both or neither. How about that?
I completely disagree.
No, okay. let me stop then.
I'm just saying he couldn't have 15 sacks, not win it, and get comeback player of the year. He couldn't get consolation prize comeback.
If he gets
player
15 sacks, he's winning.
If he's in the running, he's winning comeback player of the year, though.
What about Daniel Jones for comeback?
If he's in the running, he's winning defensive player of the year. If he's in the running, dude, they want to give it to Aiden Hutchinson, bro. Because they want to give him the pity award, the Josh Allen award. I can tell.
But the issue is that Parsons also hasn't had one. It's not. But they like time. Hutchinson. It's not his time for the pity award yet.
Hutchinson is being a diva, and where Parsons is being a diva, and Hutchinson is being like a legend, working his way back from injury. So they want to give it to Hutchinson. The deep state, trust me, they're all in. You're
underestimating how much the truth will prevail in terms of Parsons being. I've already picked Parsons, so.
Yeah.
It won't be.
Okay, no, wait. Hear me out for this one, actually. All right, Daniel Jones starts the first 4 some games. Colts are terrible. Their offense stinks. They throw in Richardson.
Finally, someone making sense.
Yes, finally, someone's making sense. Richardson comes in week 5, and he lights it up. He's all over the field. He's perfect.
Yep.
And he goes crazy the rest of the year, even week 6, week 7, week 8. If he's great for any stretch, I think more than like 8 games, I think the award could go to Anthony Richardson. He's currently plus 4,000.
Easy Richardson, free money, take it to the bank. This is all just setting
I'm putting my mortgage on it right now.
No, I don't know who it'll be. Like, we don't even know. Like, there's still going to be some stuff that's going to happen during the season that's going to impact this award. Like, someone's going to get shot, or someone's going to be in a car accident, or someone's going to, like...
Anything could happen.
Like, someone's going to get sick and come back.
You cannot predict, like, I've got Josh Allen.
I do have
not coming back from anything.
He's going
to get in a car
divorce. He's going to get divorced.
He's going to get divorced?
His girl is gonna cheat on him, and he's gonna play through it, and he's gonna win comeback player of the year.
Coming back from divorce is crazy.
I don't know. I'm gonna actually for real go with Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I'm gonna for real say Trevor Lawrence, because I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna be a dark horse MVP guy. I think Trevor Lawrence is about to go crazy this year. Like, going for, like, if you want to talk about a turnaround, like Liam, like, I know we already talked about it with Coach Theo, but like Liam Cohen and Travis Hunter are going to bring an energy to the Jaguars like truly never before seen. Like, going from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson lifted Lawrence up, right? Like, Doug Peterson was checked out last year. His son was like getting looks at tight end. Like, they weren't calling plays that make any sense. Like, Trent Baalke was terrible. Like, to actually have Gladstone and Cohen, like, I don't know how much staying power it's all going to have, but I can definitely buy into, like, this year they have the pieces and they're in the division where a lot can turn around extremely quickly for them. And if they do, I mean, Lawrence got knocked out. He was stretchered off. Like, he has the injury for it. And I just think he is in a position to have perhaps a better year than Dak Prescott's year, to have a better year than J.J. McCarthy's year, even a better year than Daniel Jones, certainly. So his injury doesn't seem as uncome back from a bull like Christian McCaffrey's. So I'll go with Lawrence.
McCaffrey would be a good pick.
So that brings us to
Do we want to talk about MVP?
Yes, let's talk about the MVP. Josh Allen's the reigning. Lamar Jackson's right there with him. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Any of those guys are we picking, or are we picking someone outside of the box? Theo?
I think outside of the box picks for MVP are bad.
Why?
They don't win. Look at the last MVP award winners. The last truly outside of the box pick win was probably Lamar Jackson. And even Lamar, we now know, is like a special, going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, most likely. In terms of guys winning where it's like they're not actually one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, like, and I'm talking like one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, it just hasn't happened in like the last 10 years. Maybe Matt Ryan, maybe. So when it comes to like a dark horse quarterback taking over, it's not unthinkable, but like, frankly, anybody outside of my tier 1, I think, is a super extreme long shot. There's really not that much variance. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit like revisionist and Rodgers wasn't considered quite that level and then he won and then now I'm looking back on it and saying that, or whoever, and I am with Lamar for sure. But ask yourself if that guy can truly be a tier 1 quarterback in the NFL. Not like he has the best statistical season, actually a tier 1 quarterback in the NFL, because that's the only way to win it.
Yeah, you got to basically put the team on your back and carry them to the 1 seed. Like, not the 3 seed, not the 4 seed, not winning your division. Like, you've got to put the team on your back and take them to at least the 2. Like, you are one of the best teams in the league. Everybody knows it. You're top 5 in all the power rankings, right? And yeah, you're just one of the 3 best guys. Here's an interesting stat from Scott Kaxmar on Twitter. He was looking at MVP vote share that players had like over the course of their career. Like what percentage of the available votes did they get? Lamar Jackson is at 35% since he became the starter. That's way higher than Peyton Manning, who's in second, higher than Patrick Mahomes, who's in third. Rodgers is at 19%. Like, Lamar just is so consistent at getting these votes that I'm going to pick him.
I would also pick Lamar.
I think Mahomes is right there, though. He's getting almost...
I'm going to go Mahomes.
Yeah.
I think it's very possible that he has like I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and I think his receivers hopefully will be better. I'm a little nervous about this because Rashee Rice, but screw it. I'll go Mahomes so we don't clean sweep Lamar, because otherwise he'd be my pick, or Allen, or... I mean, like, an outside the box pick to me is Burrow. Like, that's the most outside the box I'm willing to get. But you need a lot to go right. And Burrow could have a crazy season, and what could happen is you could get to the MVP voting, and guess what? Lamar and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes all also had crazy seasons. And Burrow is like not quite getting the credit that he needs to for carrying the team, even if the defense sucks. And people look at his counting stats and say, sure, but volume. And we understand that. Right. So it was an awesome year. It's on this level, but we're not quite going to give it to him.
What about Daniels?
Daniels, I don't think he's a tier 1 quarterback.
Fair.
Daniels is intriguing and definitely like the cutoff of guys who are valid picks. Like, I think you can squint and see the case for him and Herbert. But
Herbert, there's been too many years where the like help hasn't been there. You'd need like Trey Harris to be awesome and them to go crazy and win the AFC West. I guess Daniels is like, if he were to instead take a big leap, he could get up there. But I don't, I guess that's fair within this. So I guess there's fair dark horse picks. So I guess my whole point.
Again, Lamar is such a high bar. Like, Lamar is the bar.
It's a hell of a
he
bar
wins
right
75% of his games in his career. He's the most valuable rushing threat in the league. And last year he had 40 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Well, with the highest QBR in the league. Like, that is the bar to win MVP. You got to be approaching those numbers. Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback, but statistically, rookies that are that good regress. Like last year, I talked about it so much with Stroud and the Harvard study. Like, these guys, the worst thing you can do, which is in some ways, is have a great rookie season because you're just not gonna surpass it. Like,
right,
it is very, very hard. So is he going to avoid the sophomore slump a little bit? And not only is he going to avoid it, is he going to make such a big jump where he is better than Lamar Jackson? Like, he's going to have a better season than the one I just described, which is obviously like the craziest season of all time.
This is maybe the better point where it's like, you almost think of it in terms of like, well, could he get in the conversation? And it's like, no, he'd have to like be better than Allen and Lamar and Mahomes, not be in the conversation.
Right.
He's got to outperform them. That's another level. That's really, really difficult.
MVP is not a beating
for
expectations award. It's just being
right.
The best.
Yeah, you just got to be the best.
I can see it. I can see Lawrence being the dark horse because I truly, like you talked about Matt Ryan maybe being one. Like, and Purdy was a MVP dark horse, right? Like the system and the weapons needs to be elite, and if you're piloting that, you can make a lot of
Those
noise
guys
because
don't
you can be
actually
so
win
statistically
though.
good.
Like
Matt Ryan
Goff, Matt was a lot better than that.
Yeah, but I think that's what you need to be a dark horse. Like if obviously it didn't happen, but if Purdy would have played well against the Ravens in that one like night game back in 2023, he would have won the award. But he took himself out of contention by throwing 4 picks. Like he would have won that award. He was the most statistically like proficient quarterback.
Are you talking about 2023? Is that the game where like we're like putting jazz music to Lamar Jackson breaking Fred Warner's
obviously that was the
stuff?
game that stamped Lamar, because like that was the year where he didn't have the craziest statistical season and still won, just because every time there was like some sort of big test, he like had the best game. Like he just would go off, right?
Yeah.
Which is a lot what this MVP award is based on, honestly. I think people really underrate that when they talk about like, well, Lamar won with bad weeks in 2023. Like he wasn't the most efficient. So this is a valid makeup award for Josh when he didn't have like, it's so much about you never die and go back to the beginning. Like if you have a bad game in a big game, you're kind of just out. Like it's kind of how it's worked. Like there was a year where Rodgers and Brady were in a heated debate, right? They were neck and neck. But the thing with Brady is like, I think he put up a goose egg in a New Orleans game in prime time. You can't let the
conversation for a week be like, this guy just stunk it up and has
this guy just fell behind. This guy had a bad week and fell behind. Yeah.
You can have a goose egg, but you got to sneak it through on a 1:00 game where there's maybe not too many important fantasy players on the other side and nobody notices.
For sure.
You got to.
And every MVP
like that
does.
I think
right?
That's totally right.
Every MVP does have some bad games, right? But there are games that decide the MVP race. That's why Dak, like in 2023, he failed those. Like he played the 49ers and stunk. He had better numbers than Lamar Jackson all year, right? He clearly like could have won it just based on the analytics, right?
But in the biggest regular season
big regular season game, like he stunk it up and Lamar went off against the 49ers. So that counts for a lot. Now, and that's another big reason why it's always going to be these big 3 that win it, because they always go crazy in the big moments. Like that's why Mahomes is probably going to win MVPs, because when it's a big stage, Mahomes probably isn't going to have a 4 interception game like Jared Goff could. Could Jared Goff have a season where he's more efficient overall? Like, yes, but in a big game, obviously you trust Mahomes' decision making. Obviously you trust Mahomes against the tough defenses. So that's why it gets to be those 3, not the most efficient guys every year. So Lawrence would need to not have any stinkers in big games, for sure. He would need to win, win whatever, be the 2 seed. It would be tough, but I do think that they're built like Brian Thomas Jr. is another sleeper offensive player of the year candidate. Like that guy's different. Like he's so good in the red zone. Like, does he have like a Julio Jones? Awesome. Could he have a Julio Jones type of season? Like, does he have that type of ceiling? Kind of. He's so fast. He runs great routes. Like he's fluid. He's different. Like his catch radius, he just plucks it out of the air. Julio's a high bar. Julio might be the GOAT. So
Julio was really good. Taking Jared Verse plus 50,000 for MVP, man.
That's good value, though.
That's good. That's really good value. I mean, Geno Smith plus 15K, Theo.
I believe that he can completely turn around the Raiders franchise, but can the Raiders like go into a big game against the Chiefs and like win in prime time? Like,
yes,
we'll see.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And then win whatever other primetime games that they'd have. Like, and Geno's just slicing and dicing. I don't know.
Drake May has got this big.
I think he's going to get votes, though. I think Geno's going to get votes.
Hey, so be it. So I'm taking Lamar. Theo, you're taking Lamar. Matt, you're taking Mahomes for the MVP. And that'll do it for our awards prediction episode here. It'll be a fun time. Drake May is going to win all the awards. That's what we're learning.
Everyone.
But thank you, every single one. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Stay Hot. Make sure you check out the supplement Stay Hot content on the Patreon if you haven't already. It's a ton of fun. Theo and I have been doing some NFL stuff. There's some NBA stuff with Matt, and they had Nerd Sesh on. It's awesome. I promise. But until next time, as always, from your favorite three fellas here, we will catch you on the flippity flop.